Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Today's Pat Gray Unleashed, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity shouldn't be public, so protect yourself at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Welcome to it. Got a great show lined up for you today. Thought we'd start, maybe in a lighter way than we have been for, I don't know, since the dawn of time. It seems like there's always something tragic to start out the show with.
Yeah, and I'm smelling animal videos now.
Well, they're here. They're here. I will say that.
They're always there.
Yes, I know. From Jules and May, the next lockdown for Americans, murder hornet deaths.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you see the curve. If we do nothing,
I see.
There will be a lot of murder hornet deaths. But
bad.
If we stay inside for 4 months, we can flatten that curve.
Oh, okay.
So good.
Murder hornets only on the outside.
Lots of patheads picked up on this math regarding the $39 on Frontier that guarantees that there wouldn't be a middle seat. The middle seat stays empty for $39. Jeremy Phillips tweets, wait, to keep the middle seat empty on Frontier, so do both sides of the middle seat have to pay or just one person?
So many people pointing that out.
What if they both pay?
Yeah.
Do they get a discount?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Because I guess they could somehow tell you, oh, somebody already paid for that, so don't worry about it.
It's your lucky day.
You think that's going to happen? No way. They just take both sides. They just take the money from both sides. That would be my guess.
So it's not only a Jeffy scam in the air.
Yeah.
It's a Jeffy scam in the air times 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Regarding the detaining of the girl dressed up like a stormtrooper in Canada. Remember, she was parading in front of somebody's business. Mm-hmm. I think just trying to draw attention to the business. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cops showed up, took her down, handcuffed her. I don't think they wound up arresting her, but they made a huge deal out of it because you know how dangerous
that's
a Star Wars blaster could be. We've seen it. Gen Y conservative tweets, Canadian idiots. Stormtroopers never hit their targets anyway. Absolutely zero threat.
I like it. That's funny.
Really true. There was some good thinking going on after the show yesterday. Mm-hmm. Sabes84 tweets, at least she was wearing a mask. The Canadian stormtrooper.
Oh,
indeed,
yes.
she was.
Yeah.
Yes, she was wearing a mask.
So she was properly social distancing and protecting herself from others.
Herself and other people.
Minus the blaster.
Right.
Yeah.
But then we had to panic because we saw that it was a weapon in her hand. Yeah. I mean, if your finger is a level 2 lookalike firearm, what is a blaster? That's got to be a weapon of mass destruction, I would say. From Pinball Wizard, we got a video of a dog who, I guess this is in anticipation of what will look like in America.
Good representation of when the lockdown...
Once the lockdown's over. Mm-hmm.
Look at this. There we go. Time to go play. Woo! That's just that's good form right there. He cleared that fence easily.
Looked like he might have been hurt on the landing.
Maybe the landing wasn't so great, but it's like a Russian dash cam video. He was good.
Everybody was laughing at him. So, whoa! Ooh, that does not look good.
Never heard from again. Actually, is the rest of the story? I'm ready for these lockdowns, man. I'll tell you that.
Then there's some lockdown games going on between a cat and a dog.
Oh yeah, what are your animals going to do to pass the time? They play chess, obviously. Mm-hmm. But did you see this coming?
No, I did not.
The referee getting involved. I mean, that was ugly. And then look at the dog. Dog just
didn't care.
Just watches him. Doesn't care. It's a docile animal. I bet those cats kick that. I bet they team up and kick that dog's butt all the time.
Then
in
there's
that house.
The cat that went after the tiger.
Yeah, house cats shouldn't go after tigers. Although this one seems to have the upper hand. Because that tiger not fighting back.
No, it knows better. Yeah, man.
Pat liked him. He liked him.
Oh, liked him.
Oh, he loved him.
Liked him. Thank you. That doesn't begin to do it justice. Then you got another animal who's been cooped up. Well, supposedly he was cooped up for a while in his basement.
Nice segue. I know where this is going.
Fredo showing off some dance moves.
But this is why I don't dance. Because, okay, so there's his daughter dancing. Now No, I don't want to see Chris Cuomo shake his booty and do whatever else he's doing.
The guy thinks so much of himself. He just believes that women are going to swoon, men are going to be envious, no matter what he does. He just thinks we enjoy him, and sadly, we fell into the trap and played it. But that's embarrassing.
Careful, man. He might come looking for you.
That's embarrassing.
Once he gets out of lockdown.
Come on, Chris. You know where I am.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, man. He finds out that you didn't think that was the greatest video of all time.
That he wasn't the sexiest, best dancer.
He might be waiting for you after the show.
He might be. Also, we've been holding on to this for a while. We've got Norwegian Dan, who does helium for us all the time. Did one on Chris Cuomo. Little Chris Cuomo on helium to brighten your day.
I want some jack loser, fat tire biker to be able to pull over
a bicyclist,
and get in
not
my
a biker.
face and in my space. We had a huge day today in Casa Cuomo. Take a look at this. All right, here it is. The official re-entry from the basement. Cleared by CDC. A little sweaty. Just worked out. This is what I've been dreaming of. Literally for weeks.
So ridiculous.
My wife, she was cleared by the CDC. She doesn't have fever.
Fredo Cuomo on his coronavirus recovery.
It looks like the CNN font. It's so
does.
good.
That's really well done.
Just give you one of these. Give me one of these. Man, this put me into a depression. I've never had anything like this in my life. It really tore me up. I never heard of recovery. I didn't know that this was like, having kind of like baby trauma. And now I have a 3-week recovery process. I did the first part today. I could barely breathe.
Get the biker up there with him.
I felt like I was exhausted.
Well, first I'd like to say I probably could beat him in a bike race, even though he's a lot younger than me.
It's not over, brother. It's not over.
Later that evening.
I'm smart. Not like everybody says. I'm dumb. I'm smart. And I want respect.
He took Fredo from the movie.
That is really nicely done. That's great. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't that worth it? Now that was worth suffering through a couple of cat videos for the Fredo thing.
Suffering?
Yes.
You liked the second cat video.
Liked it.
He's giving him the right paw, and he comes at him with the left paw.
Yeah.
You liked the cat versus the tiger.
Right. It was great.
Yeah.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I love the fact that celebrities and scientists have gotten together now to say that society must change. It must change. A host of celebrities and scientists, including Madonna. Wait, is she the celebrity or the scientist? 'Cause it's so hard to tell with her.
Dr. Madonna?
Robert De Niro and some Nobel Prize winners have called for radical change in the world rather than a return to normal after the coronavirus lockdowns end. Kate Blanchett, Jane Fonda, Marion Cotillard, Monica Bellucci also added their names to this open letter published in the French daily Le Monde, pleading for an end to unbridled consumerism. Please stop the unbridled consumerism. We're so sickened and disturbed by it. And then there needs to be a radical transformation of economies to help save the planet. Get back to me, celebrities, especially Madonna and Robert De Niro. Get back to me when you show me the mud hut you live in and the zero balance checkbook you have because you gave all your money to the poor, to the destitute, the shut-ins, the infirm. No, instead, Madonna is worth over $800 million. She is the wealthiest female music performer of all time.
Yeah, she takes baths with rose petals and videos it for us.
She's got a 16,000 square foot home in Lisbon. She has 6 homes in London. And, then there's her $40 million 13-bedroom mansion in New York City. So isn't it ironic that the material girl, we're living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Yeah, she sure is, but she doesn't want you to be. So they got theirs because of capitalism. And because of this being the greatest nation in the history of the planet, now they want to slam the door shut behind them. I got mine. Now we need to go socialist so that everybody just suffers equally. These hypocrites. It is despicable what they're trying to do to this country. And they see this as their opportunity. That's why Madonna gets together with scientists that she's got nothing in common with, because she wants socialism. And it's not like they're hiding this agenda now. It's not like this is all a secretive movement. Many of them openly admit. We got a socialist running for office and almost winning the Democrat nomination. You got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, openly socialist. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all of these people who are in government, who've actually been, sadly, duly elected in this country. And they're just unashamedly Marxists because they think it's okay to take the mask off now. They think they've influenced so many people with their Marxist theories, and maybe they have, because they own the educational system in this country, and kids are taught that America is the bad guy, that capitalism is evil. It's nothing but greed. So, what chance do we have of returning to normal if we're listening to these people? Wow. Maybe this time at home is going to be good for the kids. Hopefully they can see that. Hopefully parents will, lend a hand in their educational process and show them what this country is really all about and always has been, and how important capitalism has been to saving and pulling out of poverty billions of people over the years. The Marxist policies have killed over 100 million. Capitalism has saved billions. And yet, God, we're always fighting this war every single day. Plus, then you have a capitalist like Bill Gates, who is leading the way on the climate change thing and trying to make that hoax work to shut everything down. It's hard to believe. By the way, all kinds of videos coming out lately, some of which I think you need to be just ever so slightly skeptical. Go into them with a skeptical eye if you find these things about the coronavirus and the conspiracies around it. There may be some truth to some of them. Like, we watched one yesterday that was, I don't remember the doctor's name, but she's been vilified in her community because she's been speaking out about Dr. Fauci and how all of his goals may not be quite so pure and wonderful.
Yeah.
And maybe you should look at what he says with a slight degree of skepticism.
I think a tip-off also for something that maybe has some credibility is if it's constantly posted on YouTube and then constantly removed. That's probably a sign. The same thing has happened to the video of the 2 doctors that we've had.
Yeah.
So
did they put that back up after they got taken down?
I don't think so. No, I think those doctors are still...
When you see these videos, though, keep in mind, after 9/11, how many videos were there that the government did it? Many. And some people bought into them hook, line, and sinker, but you got to be careful because a lot of the things that they were saying in those videos that seemed reasonable or seemed logical had been disproven already. They were either completely untrue, never happened, or there was a perfectly logical, reasonable explanation for it. But people bought into that. And people are buying in wholeheartedly to some of these videos. Although, again, there might have been some truth to the one we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, the day before that, some of the things they had said on that particular video had already been disproven. So do your own research, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, we must be watching different videos. Yeah.
Do your own research. But the Bill Gates aspect of this is interesting to me because is Bill Gates a hero or is Bill Gates a villain? You look at Exhibit A, for instance. How did he get his wealth? Well, he raided Xerox and IBM for tech. That's in part how he did. But, I mean, he did know how to apply all the stuff he stole from IBM and Xerox. So, and they didn't understand what they were onto. So you got to give him that credit. He's a very generous guy, big donor, active in trying to help underprivileged, especially in Africa. But then you also look at the fact that there are some red flags where Bill Gates is concerned, and we'll talk about we'll talk about those in a second here.
Yeah.
First, let me tell you about Tommy John. Tommy John underwear, whether it's T-shirts or the underpants you're wearing. Working from home used to be the fantasy of every professional. Turns out it's not really that great unless you're wearing Tommy John and you can sit around in your Tommy John all day. That would actually be really nice. Tommy John has something for everyone, no matter whether you're working from home or what your situation with work is. Super soft and breathable underwear for answering emails in bed, let's say, to loungewear for when you're running to get takeout. Tommy John is here to keep you comfortable, and right now Tommy John's offering all customers 25% off site-wide. So everything they sell on the internet, you get $25 off, or 25% off. Treat yourself. Upgrade to a few pairs of Tommy John underwear in the softest, most breathable fabrics you've ever worn. Seriously, the most comfortable underwear I've ever had on. Hurry to TommyJohn.com/unleashed, TommyJohn.com/unleashed for 25% off your order. TommyJohn.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Triple 8-900-3393. All right, Bill Gates, good guy. White hat or black hat? I mean, yes, he is a big-time philanthropist. He is working to make conditions in Africa better for an awful lot of people. But then, on the other hand, there are some red flags. I mean, he's a zero population guy.
First, we've got population.
Yeah, we do.
The world today has 6.8 billion people.
Oh, that was a while
That's headed
ago.
up to about 9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Okay. So again, I got to ask the question, how does a new vaccine help stop population? Aren't you helping people to survive then? Aren't you creating longer lives through vaccines? How is a new vaccine helping stop population growth?
Sterilization. Excuse me.
Or you're killing people with them, as one of the videos that I've seen recently kind of alleges, and maybe not so accidentally. So you got reproductive health. Now, how does you're talking about reproducing the species. How does reproductive health stop the population from growing? Well, you're talking about abortion. Reproductive health care. Every time a leftist says reproductive health care, they're talking about killing babies. So you got that going with Bill Gates, which is an awful lot of fun. And then you remember what he said about his heritage, where he came from.
That really grabbed me as urgent were issues related to population, reproductive health.
But did you come to reproductive issues. As an intellectual,
when I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood.
Oh.
And
that's interesting.
It was very controversial to be involved with that.
Murdering babies is well.
Why would that be controversial? You're just destroying some tissue. You're making sure broccoli doesn't continue to grow inside your body. You might have a Volkswagen in there. Nobody wants a Volkswagen in their body.
I mean, if it's a pickup truck, I'm carrying that thing to term.
Are you?
Yes.
You'd like to have a new pickup?
Absolutely.
It comes right out of your innards there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, your wife has to do that. You can't do that yourself.
I need to get her consent, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Her body, her choice.
And, I mean, Gates is prominently discussed in many of these videos that are making the rounds. He's got, I don't think it's his, but there's something called Peerbright, which I think he's just a donor to, but he's donated considerable amounts of money to it. But supposedly this company has a patent on the coronavirus. This particular strain that's going around and causing the pandemic, it is the SARS-CoV-2, and there is no patent on that. Just so you know, nobody has a patent on the SARS-CoV-2. But I believe there are patents, and maybe even and Gates might even be one of the patent holders on some of the other strains of this disease. And I don't know, it's fascinating, but that's where all the conspiracy theories are developing. And just be careful about them. I mean, we all want to be completely informed on things that are going on, but you also don't want to just automatically believe everything that comes through the internet. Even though if it's on the internet, it has to be true, right?
Yes.
Has to be.
I think that was one of the parameters that Al Gore set up.
When he invented the internet.
He's like, everything on it's true.
Yeah.
So that's
when he took the initiative.
Took the initiative, yeah.
And
during my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the internet.
I took the initiative in creating the internet. You did? Huh. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for doing that, Al. That
Al Gore
really...
Superhighway, as of course we refer to it now on a regular basis.
Yes, right. 888-900-3393. Also, there's this, speaking of videos making the rounds, have you seen the video of the monkey trying to kidnap a child?
Terrifying.
Watch this.
Look at that motorbike the monkey's got, man. Whoa, see something I like.
Whoa.
Hey, mask.
Whoa.
Hey.
That
dang
is terrifying.
And so weird.
Yeah, the kid.
First of all, it's kind of cool that the monkey can ride a motorbike.
That is, I mean, there's a lot to dissect here.
That's kind of cool. But secondly, the monkey stops right in front of the baby as if that was the intended target all along. And then just grabs the baby and starts carting it off, dragging it through the street.
I mean, I think for the kid's troubles, it should have access to that. But like that motorbike belongs to the kid now. Because he left it there. The monkey left the motorbike behind.
Yes. Finders keepers, for one thing.
But seriously, how does the
really weird, isn't it?
Monkey just know how to ride that?
I don't know.
Did he go buy it somewhere that morning?
Was the monkey trained to do that, to kidnap children? Strange video. And there was no explanation that I ever saw.
And you had to hunt to find out this was in Indonesia.
Yeah.
It was like a dozen attempts where I finally found a story that referenced Indonesia. I'm like, yeah, we're going with Indonesia. And so I don't know if that's a common thing there where monkeys ride around on motor scooters.
I'm pretty sure it's not a common thing in the United States. It doesn't seem like you get a lot of stories out of Dubuque with a monkey riding down the street and then grabbing hold of a baby.
I mean, Dubuque needs something. They might want to train some monkeys just to randomly drive around town.
Yes. Yeah, very true.
People might start going to Dubuque to see the scooter monkeys.
It would help tourism, I would think.
I'm just saying, Dubuque.
Yeah.
Think outside the box. Train about a dozen monkeys to just randomly drive around town on motorbikes, and I'm there, man. Seriously.
Also, we got a fun video from Britain of this drum playing weatherman.
Yeah.
forecast. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
All right, he's done. Uh-oh, the music's starting. You got to get to your drums, man. It's the weatherman. I want my weatherman to do this. And he just plays the theme song out at the end of the news.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he needs some tambourine, though. What a cool weatherman.
Is this on the BBC?
Yeah. I didn't catch the forecast, though. Did anybody catch it?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear.
It's gonna rain? That's awesome.
It's a good drummer.
That's what people are doing during lockdown. They're learning the theme song at the close of the nightly news.
Yeah. Yeah, and in New Zealand, an American Marine's dad was in New Zealand at a bar, and they had something very interesting on the bar. They were taking up a collection.
It says Donald Trump Assassination Fund.
So uncool.
Are you kidding me? And
Why?
the people at the own the bar don't appreciate him
pointing that out
and dumping the change on the countertop there.
I told him to get out. Nice job stomping on it.
Yeah, I appreciate this. Yeah, see ya.
And then it looks like some bouncers come over and escort him out. Wow, that was a bold, brave move there, because obviously the odds were against him inside that bar.
I mean, New Zealand, really?
That's not cool.
Okay.
Not cool at all.
I mean, seriously, I can't imagine going to a bar in Dallas and there'd be a jar on the bar top that said whatever the hell your prime minister name is.
Kiwi Prime Minister Assassination Fund. Nobody would. Kiwi?
It's not even worth looking up.
Who's this? What is that? I don't even know.
It's
You're
a
trying
chick.
to kill a fruit?
Right. Kiwi is.
Why do you hate kiwis so much?
All I know, the only reason I know who your leader is because I remember some chick that banned guns after your mass shooting.
Can you name the name?
Some chick that banned guns after the mass shooting. That's her name.
That's better more than I knew, frankly.
So hold on.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, there's a bunch of douchebags in a bar that hate Donald Trump so much, that know so much they think about Donald Trump, that they've got an assassination fund set up on the bar countertop. Whereas we don't even pay any attention to them.
We don't even care who your leader is.
We couldn't care less about what's going on in New Zealand.
Right. We don't care who your leader is.
Nope.
And we definitely don't care
all.
to have a vested interest in whether they live or die. But her name is, what is it? Jacinda Ardern. Okay, there we go.
The only other thing I know about New Zealand is they filmed all, I think, of the Lord of the Rings movies there. I
think you're right.
And I think they filmed all of the Hobbit movies in New Zealand. Or at least portions.
Aren't they all the same?
Of them.
Isn't that like the same franchise, though, really?
Yeah, pretty much. You know? Yes, it is.
So in other words, all of Tolkien's books, when made to movie, were shot in New Zealand. That's literally all that country has.
Do they have some cool scenery? Yes. Do they mean anything in the scope of geopolitical goings-on in the world? No. No, they do not. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, New Zealand.
I want to thank Daniel for his contribution. Bilbo Baggins' Hobbit Hole is still there. You can go and visit it if you want to down in New Zealand.
No, I'm not supporting them in there. Of course, that doesn't mean the whole country is behind the assassinate Donald Trump movement.
I mean, you're New Zealand.
Yeah.
Keep your head down.
Right?
Just punch above your weight.
Well, we understand. I think they are one of the countries that does, aren't they?
Is that right?
I think so. 888-900-3393. We'll check into that because I don't want to speak out of turn here.
That's fairly typical of the way that Danes have punched above their weight in international affairs.
Okay, the Danes.
I've said this before, but I want to repeat. Okay. Norway punches above its weight.
Norway, okay.
We have no stronger ally than the Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah.
They consistently punch above their weight.
Punch above their weight.
Ireland punches above its weight.
Ireland does too.
Small country. Philippines is not the largest of countries.
No, they're not.
In using a phrase from boxing, punches above its weight.
Yeah, we've heard that.
No, New Zealand does not punch above its weight.
They don't.
Nope, they do not. So there is absolutely no reason to pay any attention to anything that ever happens.
Right. They shouldn't have been challenging us like that.
No, they should not. Because before this, I thought they punched above their weight.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They do not.
And if Barack Obama says it or doesn't say it, you take it to the bank. And he didn't say that New Zealand punches above its weight.
I tell you who takes a lot of stuff to the bank that Obama gives him, and that's Iran. But
yeah,
I digress.
Right. Like, wasn't it $1.6 billion or something?
Yeah, take that to the bank.
Yeah, they did. All right, we got this email from Unwind. Unwind1@hotmail.com.
I don't know what this is.
Or whatever.
I really have no idea what you're reading right now.
Okay, I need to know what Pat's hiding. I went to scrumptiouscookie.com, and the copyright on the website is 2023.
Oh, what?
Questions I have. What does Pat know? What does the future look like? Does he have a DeLorean, a TARDIS, phone booth, or hot tub? For those not in the know, those are all time travel devices. So, no, I don't have any of those. I do not own any of those items.
Okay, but tell me about the next 3 years. What's it? I'm kind of nervous to know about the next 3 years.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You do not want to know.
What have you seen, Mr. Time Traveler?
It's inexpressible. It's inexpressible.
I mean, should I buy a certain stock in a company? You can tell me during the break what companies to buy stock in.
Okay, I'll do that.
I want everybody hearing these tips.
From Team USA Stone Skipping Skip. If the dog died from the landing and it was after the lockdown,
oh no.
Was it still a COVID-19 related death? Yes. Yeah, we'll watch this.
There he goes.
Yep.
Hey!
Dog died of COVID-19. But he had a broken neck. Right. Brought on by COVID-19.
Again, we don't know, kids. The dog
we don't
had
know
a broken neck or even survived. We just know that it jumped over the fence and it was a cool
And everybody
video.
was laughing, so it must have been a happy ending.
Yeah.
From Pat's powdered caviar dealer. My breath caught in my throat when Pat said we were going to start on a lighter note. I feared he was just setting us up to lighten, then blow off some of the bad news. I was pleasantly surprised, especially since I'm listening and couldn't see Fredo's moves.
Oh, you don't want to see Fredo's moves.
No, you don't.
That was some hideous...
You can never unsee that.
Action.
And you don't want that.
Oh, no, here we go. Here we go. There's this dog. Oh, no, wait. No, see. He just blocks her.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Okay.
And this guy.
He's barefoot.
It's embarrassing.
He is.
It's embarrassing. Is that his dining room? I mean, look at that. I think this is his place in the Hamptons. Go back to that. Can you get a still shot? Because he's got a big, long table there. Is that this is his dining room.
But is that... Oh, look, there's an ironing board in there, too. Look at that.
Is it really?
That's an ironing board, or is that... Oh, it's a Casio. Yeah,
no,
it's like a keyboard
it's like
or something.
A keyboard.
My bad. I'm sorry, I can't imagine Cuomo doing ironing.
No.
So, yeah, I think it's a dining room table, a couple couches asleep on the love seat.
It's a nice dining room. With almost floor-to-ceiling windows spanning the entire length of it. Beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. Good for you. Good for you, Fredo. It's amazing what, the mob can bring you. It's amazing. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
The Pickled Squirrel tweets, point of personal privilege, please. Point of personal privilege? Yes.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes. Point of personal privilege?
Yes, go ahead. Okay. Please don't use Cuomo and booty in the same sentence.
Oh, I think that was me. My
Thank
bad.
you. In the same sentence.
Sorry.
Point of personal privilege?
Yes. Right.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
All right.
Booty.
And DMXDM. Okay. Looking at Al Gore today, it's clear the AI superhighway runs from his house to the 24-hour buffet. That's a little fat joke there for Al. Please don't start your fat shaming. Look what happened when people started commenting on Adele's weight loss. Have you seen it? Did you read about that in the paper? Did it, Kevin? You seen it?
What happened?
Adele apparently lost some weight. People said she looks great.
You look good.
And then that's fat shaming. This drives me out of my mind. You can't compliment somebody without everybody else taking it as an insult. Stop this bull crap,
what happened?
please.
What?
Singer Adele, let me read this story, astounded her fans with her weight loss, but others were angered by the comments that they perceived as, quote, fat shaming, unquote, those who had trouble with their weight. So if you compliment Adele that she looks great now, you're fat shaming other people who have trouble with their weight.
Oh, kudos to her.
Shut up.
Kudos to her. And now it makes it easier for her to punch above her weight.
Yes.
Because there's not as much weight to punch above.
Right. Adele celebrated her birthday by posting a photograph of herself to her Instagram account and her more than 35 million followers. Many praised her for her weight loss, which she'd previously discussed in interviews. I was trying to get some stamina for my tour, so I lost a bit of weight, she said.
Good for her.
Now I fit into normal off-the-shelf clothes, which is a really big problem for me. The post received more than 8 million likes and 183,000 comments, mostly of support and approval, but others decried the celebratory comments to Adele as having a sinister side effect of shaming those who have body positivity issues. I'm sorry. Don't go online then. Seriously. You can be, if you're set off, if you're triggered and hurt and shamed by somebody complimenting someone else that has nothing to do with you, then you need to stay offline. That just is asinine.
Tell us about the future, please, Uncle Pat. Is it better?
No.
You know,
Psychic
Nikki looked into the future.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she saw that a famous hamburger chain is going to shut its doors forever. Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. Just a famous one, right? She's good.
Okay, so any hamburger chain that shuts down between now and the end of time.
Psychic Nikki.
You're going to go back to Psychic Nikki and say, see, she was right.
She's the one who didn't predict the global pandemic. She could have made one prediction for this year, but instead she wants to let us know there's going to be a naked man that runs up to the gates of Buckingham Palace in 2020.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that would be, if you're a psychic, this seems like a pretty big event that you might have foreseen.
Just maybe a hint, something in these hundreds of predictions. Oh, that's not a tough one. A robbery around a famous rapper. It's like every other week. Oh, look at that. A man will steal money from a plane and bail out just like D.B. Cooper did.
I don't foresee that happening.
A tornado in New York City. That's a fun one.
Okay.
Multiple streakers at a baseball game. Oh, Psychic Nikki, come on. We'd like a baseball game.
Yeah.
Anyhow. So I just wondered if you, being a time traveler, have seen anything good that you could share with us from the next few years.
No, I haven't.
Dang it.
There's nothing good in the next few years.
Okay.
Except for Evander Holyfield's boxing comeback.
Oh.
He's been training, apparently. Mike Tyson isn't the only heavyweight training for a comeback. Evander Holyfield told TMZ he's up for another fight at 57 years old.
Yes.
The champ is back.
Holyfield from Atlanta, I'd like to point out.
Holyfield said, I'd like to announce that I will be making a comeback to the ring. Gotta be kidding.
Yes.
I'll be fighting in exhibition matches for a great cause. He hasn't had a sanctioned fight in 9 years. He says the goal is to raise money for the Unite for Our Fight campaign, which aims to provide students with the resources they need for emotional development and education. Okay. But who's the opponent? Everybody wants it to be Tyson.
It has to be, right?
It's got to be Tyson.
Oh, my gosh. That would be so great.
Yeah, and they're both training. Why not?
I don't care what the cause. I don't care what raises money for. Just whatever. Fight, the two of you. And no biting ears this time, Mike.
I did not remember that Holyfield lost 10 times. He was 44-10-2 as a pro, with 2 victories over Mike Tyson. One of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time. And at 57, making a little bit of a comeback. So that will be interesting to keep an eye on. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. In addition to their generous support of Mercury One, Patriot Mobile has gone above and beyond to help Americans stay in touch with loved ones during this really tough time. They've lowered their prices even further. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design your customized family plan starting at just $25 a month. You can't beat that price. Patriot Mobile shares your values. They'll never charge you hidden fees. And unlike Big Mobile, they will not send your hard-earned money to Planned Parenthood or other left-wing causes. Plus, with Patriot Mobile, you get the same reliable nationwide service and support, a company that shares your values, supports our Constitution, and puts people before profits. It's really easy to switch, too. You can keep your phone, or you can buy a new one. You can keep your number, or you can get a new one. They like to make it really easy for you. And right now, when you join their family of freedom-loving Americans, they're going to waive your activation fee. And if you use the offer code PAT, they'll send you a free gift as well. So call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT, or visit patriotmobile.com/Pat. Customized family plans starting as low as $25 a month. You cannot beat that price. patriotmobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
India having just a bit of a problem now with the lockdown situation. The world's biggest lockdown has forced 122 million people out of jobs in 1 month. 122 million. Unemployment plunged in April after the government imposed the 40-day lockdown. Of course, there's 1.3 billion people in India, so this is a huge deal. Forced businesses to shut, pushed up the jobless rate. Their jobless rate now is 27.1%. Ooh. Daily wage workers and those employed by small businesses took a massive blow. These include hawkers, roadside vendors, workers employed in the construction industry, and a lot of people who just eke out some kind of living pushing handcarts and rickshaws. I mean, these are poor people to begin with, and now they're completely out of a living wage.
And that was a country that was, the trajectory was really good.
Yes.
It was on the way up. They were, maybe a couple of generations behind us as far as quality of life. And thank you, China.
Yeah, but there's no need to open up the economy because that could hurt some people.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, people can be hurt.
By opening the economy?
By opening, yes. Well, because you're subjecting each other to other people, and some people will get sick. And so, we got no choice here other than just completely shutting down our economy for the foreseeable future.
But it seems like...
Because nobody will get hurt in that scenario.
And maybe...
Right?
Yeah, maybe you could educate me on this, but it seems like that the longer the lockdown goes on and people don't have jobs...
Right.
It would seem... Again, set me straight if I'm wrong on this.
Okay.
Like a little bit long term, this could be a bigger deal for people. Like,
in what way?
Well, I mean...
Like if they... starve to death?
They could starve
for
to
instance?
death. That's also like maybe medical appointments that people can't get to right now. Like, to check on their health and maintenance and stuff. Like
weird
little nagging problems could become.
No, I don't even understand what you're trying to say.
Issues.
I don't even understand it. I don't comprehend
shortages.
What you're getting at all. I don't see the point.
Okay.
All I hear is a lot of hatred for people because you want them to get sick. You want people to die, don't you? Congratulations for sharing it with the world.
Well busted.
We see right through you now. Here's a weird fact on this lockdown, on this shutdown that is so necessary to save lives. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced yesterday that according to a recent study in New York, 66% of the coronavirus patients that are admitted to hospitals in the state right now have been home the whole time.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, they've been home. 66% of the people who are being admitted to hospitals have not been working, have not been riding the subway, have not been going to restaurants. They have not gone to rock concerts or festivals. They didn't go to Mardi Gras. They didn't go to spring break in Florida. They've been staying home, and 66% of them got sick anyway. Huh. How'd that happen?
I know how that happened. Because everything's the coronavirus. That's how that happened.
Perhaps.
No, but what's the other
But if this
reason?
is true, then what the hell are we doing? If you're going to get sick anyway, let's go. Let's get this economy rolling. How do you make the case for lockdown when 66% of the new cases being hospitalized are coming from the lockdown? Just a little question there for you to ponder for a minute.
I'm telling you.
You don't know what to believe anymore. You don't know what to do.
I know what to
You don't know what to say. It's just... Yeah, I scream the F word a lot. That's what this leads to.
Are you following me around all day when I leave work?
I don't need to follow you anywhere. I can hear you at all hours. Oh, man. Following you. I think I can hear you at home from my house.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Can you just yell? Because you have a louder voice than me. I can just follow your voice through the woods. I don't need a road if we're that close. Or are you saying that I'm that loud?
Yeah, I'm saying you're that loud.
Okay.
So Cuomo pulled up a chart that was compiled by state health officials. And he said, if you notice, 18% of the people who are being hospitalized right now came from nursing homes. Less than 1% came from jail or prison. 2% came from the homeless population. 2% from other congregate facilities. But 66% of the people were at home, which is shocking to us.
Did he follow that up by saying, look, I know you've suspected this for months, but I'm just going to lay it out for you right now. We at no point have known what we're doing or talking about.
Right.
Okay? So, you know what? Go back to work. Whatever. Let's try that. Oh.
Wish you would.
I'm going to turn my mic off now because I have some more things to say.
Yeah, I'll bet. They'll hear it with your mic off. That's how loud you are. Thanks for being here with us. Traffic and weather together every 6 minutes on the 4s all morning long. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. OB-GYN Kobe tweets, patenting viruses? Sounds like a Jeffy scam. Yeah, doesn't it? I didn't know anybody could... Until recently, I didn't realize people were doing that.
I guess Jeffy didn't either. Otherwise, he'd be a millionaire.
Except he didn't invent any of them.
Well, he's carrying them around.
Yeah, he is.
So,
yes,
they're always with him.
Right. Kara 3022, not sure if you saw this, but back on Giving Tuesday, the Screen Actors Guild, of all people, were asking for donations. Unfreaking believable.
What? Wait, Hollywood actors?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they would tell you that's for the other, stars, the ones who struggle, the struggling actors.
So from their Malibu balconies,
struggling,
overlooking the Pacific Ocean,
right.
they were doing videos probably.
Well, do you know some of those people had others build in front of them, and it blocked partial views of the Pacific Ocean? They are seriously struggling. I mean, it lowered the value of their home from $27 to $25 million.
See,
yeah, and it's yes, the Screen Actors Guild needs to be involved here.
Untenable.
The Steve 42 tweets, the only reason to go to New Zealand is the layover on your way to Sydney, Australia. Beta Bodine, the motorcycling monkey, was probably just trying to feed his family after PETA had the circus shut down and put him out of work. The Sniper BBB, Sir Edmund Hillary was one of the first climbers to reach the top of Everest, also from New Zealand.
Oh, good. So we're up to two whole things.
Okay. And Keystone Pig. I'm pretty sure the U.S. would be able to punch above its weight if it were not for Jeffy living here.
Oh, God.
Golly.
That's fun.
See, the thing is, he would think that's really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Think so?
He'd say, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what he would say.
No, I get it.
No, that's good. That's good.
I got it.
By the way, anybody watching The Last Dance documentary, the 10-part thing on Michael Jordan?
I have learned that even with a lockdown and society ground to a halt, I still don't have enough time to watch all the things I want to.
Wow.
So I literally...
Are you interested in it?
Oh, absolutely. It's really good. I pressed play. He was in front of a picturesque window, almost like you'd see at the Arizona Cardinals head coach's living room.
Oh, yeah.
There was some quote or something underneath. And then I got interrupted, and I still haven't been able to restart it.
And you never got back to it.
So it's awesome, though. Everything I hear about it is really great.
It is good. It's really interesting. And they cover a lot of territory. There's a lot of footage of Michael Jordan.
How many times have you seen Michael Jordan personally break the hearts of Atlanta Hawks fans thus far?
74 times.
Okay.
No, the heartbreaking to me, the heartbreak of the Utah Jazz fans, which was...
Yeah, stakes were higher when your heart was broken than the Hawks.
What's weird about it is, as with all documentaries, kind of they get you to know the people, and you see their behind the scenes stuff, and you see the things that they struggled with, and then you start rooting for them. And about halfway through the second episode, I'm like, wait a minute, I hate the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
They beat my Jazz 2 straight years in the finals. I hate these guys.
See, and that was always, the Hawks division was always the Bulls and then everybody else.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you, but it sounds like I'm going to have a sympathetic tug.
You probably will.
Okay.
Probably will.
I don't need a New Orleans Saints documentary. I'll never...
You won't watch that?
I'll watch it, but I won't develop I won't root for them.
It is, but it's fascinating on how much drama there was involved with, coaches' decisions and who's going to be the coach, and is Scottie Pippen going to stay or are they going to trade him? I mean, some really interesting things.
A lot of good behind the scenes stuff, huh?
Yeah. And I have no idea why in 1998 the general manager of the team said, okay, this is Phil Jackson's last year. Now, why, to a 6-time champion coach, why would you say, okay, you can do this once more and then no more, ever? Why? Why would you do that? I mean, you got to have a serious ego to not want him to take all the credit, I guess.
I think you just
I don't know
described
what the deal is.
Bill Belichick situation.
That too.
With Tom Brady.
Yes.
You got to have a serious ego not to have a guy who has won all these Super Bowls for you.
Yeah, it's weird.
They don't even have a plan up there. That's the other thing. No,
you would have thought they would because, I don't know, they're the Patriots. And who do they have left? Some, second or third year guy from Auburn that nobody knows.
Seriously. The Patriots, I can't believe we're saying this. Could be a dumpster fire this year.
Yeah, it could be
really bad. They have a good defense,
bad.
but other than that. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
It's a good documentary.
7-8 years from now.
The other thing I want to know is, what's the deal with Michael Jordan's eyes? See, he is in serious need of some Visine. I mean, it is the worst case. I mean, I struggle with bloodshot eyes for various reasons. But I don't know what's going on there, but something, you can't see the whites of his eyes at all.
Huh.
It is, I don't know. Please, somebody on the documentary say, okay, Michael, you might want to try some Visine.
You're talking
Your eyes
about
look really
2020.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan.
The Michael Jordan today.
I see.
Yeah, definitely. Because he used to have whites of his eyes.
I was going to say, I don't remember
He does not anymore.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on there.
We lost him.
Yeah, he lost him. We lost him. We lost the whites of his eyes. Dang it. All right, 888-900-3393. Because the world has completely changed and been flipped upside down, the Supreme Court is hearing their cases from home, like everybody else. They're social distancing. And so there's some weird things happening during their session because, again, they're home. And check this out.
On the phone. And
on the
phone.
phone.
Going to be saying, hey, call your congressman.
Check your plumbing.
And change these laws that apply to banks. And what the FCC has said is that when the subject matter of the call ranges to the topic, then the call is transformed. And it's a call that would have been allowed and it's no longer allowed. And so I think...
Okay, so that guy, Roman Martinez, who was just speaking, some attorney...
Speaking before the court.
His picture... for the end of time is going to be
associated with a toilet
even though
flush.
He's not the one that flushed it. It was somebody else on the call, but yet it's his face with that sound.
Unbelievable.
That is 2020, the Supreme Court, another first for America, a toilet flushing during session.
Of course, we know what that's like here. Something similar happened one time.
Talk radio shot here too. Yeah, it was. Andrew Wilkhouse here, by the way, with us.
Hi, Andrew.
Pat and Stu.
There's the toilet flush. Jeffy in the background.
Did we just hear Jeffy going to the bathroom?
I know my mic is on. Did you turn his off?
It's like the Naked Gun in real life. Didn't that happen to the Naked Gun in real life? Remember the Naked Gun at the end of one of those movies? Where he's in there going, oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jeff Fisher just tinkled live on the air.
Oh, man.
There was just a live tinkling.
Thank you for keeping that potted up. I really appreciate that. Control room there. That was a good move. Because that was a special moment that we just shared with Jeff.
I literally cannot believe that.
Oh, boy. Too bad he's not here today.
Yeah.
To relive that with
Maybe
us.
we'll share it again tomorrow.
Jeffy.
A little different, though, with the U.S. Supreme Court than the dumb Pat and Stu talk show.
Whoa!
I mean,
blasphemer.
The U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's second fiddle to Pat and Stu.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sure.
You're going to have to get your priorities right. Which, by the way, I will apparently join Stu on his show tonight. Stu Does America.
Will you?
Yeah. But no, that's where we're at. 2020. Good times.
Good times.
Stuff like that happening. And it was good to hear, though. I mean this sincerely. It was actually good to hear Ruth Bader Ginsburg's voice during these proceedings yesterday, because now I can put to bed any thoughts that she's already
passed on. Was there a rumor to the effect that she's already gone?
No, I lost the office pool.
Oh, okay.
So anyhow, but it was good to hear her, and so she's still kicking. But man, this new normal, we got to get back to normal.
Yeah,
we got to have.
It's got to stop.
I would as much fun as that audio was. I would rather have the Supreme Court meeting in secret than hearing toilet flush audio during a
who is recording that anyway?
I just think it's a bunch of speakerphones. A lot of people.
Interesting. Also, our poll yesterday on Pat Unleashed. Generally speaking, when you have a choice, how often do you wear a mask when you go out in public? Okay. Always 8.1%. Sometimes 25.4%. So between them, you got about 33%-ish, 33.5%. Never 66.6%.
Wow. So 2/3 of the Pat Gray audience
never wears a mask.
Never wears a mask.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's where we're at.
And 70% will not get the virus when it comes along.
The vaccine.
The vaccine, yeah. The virus. Yeah, you got no choice on the virus, really. But you do have a choice hopefully when it comes to the vaccine. Or do you? We don't know yet. Of course, now they're saying some are saying there won't be a vaccine this year. There won't be a vaccine in the foreseeable future. Others are saying there's been a vaccine for years. They've got it developed, but they're waiting until everybody gets the virus. Who knows?
In Illinois, the governor there has said that you're not going to be allowed to go back to church until there's a vaccine. What?
And that's 12 to 18 months or something, right?
So that's what people are saying. Are you kidding me? So wait, now are you going to have to prove that you got the vaccine before you're allowed to attend a crowded place in Illinois? Is that, or are we just saying it has to be a vaccine? Oh my goodness. Death of churches either way in Illinois. If that holds, phase 5 is what that would be for that state.
J.B. Pritzker announced a 5-phase plan to reopen Illinois, gives guidelines to schools, businesses, churches, and other religious centers about when they will be allowed to reopen. In phase 3, gatherings of up to 10 people will be allowed. In phase 4, gatherings of up to 50 people will be allowed. Gatherings of more than 50 people won't be allowed until phase 5. So during a press conference yesterday, Pritzker confirmed churches will be held to the same standards and not be allowed to hold in-person services of more than 50 people until phase 5. Even if it takes more than a year to get to that position. So churches in Illinois closed for at least a year, probably, chances are.
What, pray tell, triggers phase 5,
Yeah.
Pat?
Well, let's see. Schools, restaurants, and bars will not be open until phase 4. Phase 5 can't begin until a vaccine is widely available.
Back off you.
Or a highly effective therapeutic drug is released, which, by the way, there have already been some, and we just ignore them and disparage them and say that they don't work and that there's only anecdotal information on whether or not they work. So Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
Love that guy.
Oh, he's the best.
Right? Sexy, too.
Oh, probably the sexiest man alive.
There's no probably, Pat.
He has said a vaccine is 12 to 18 months away from being available to the public. Now,
I can read your mind, man. Now, wait. Now, that doesn't make sense based on what I've seen lately.
Right. Yes. We should play part of that video.
It takes a while to get your portfolio in order, Pat.
A long time. Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
You got phone calls to make. He's busy these days. He doesn't have time to call his...
He's real busy.
And you know, broker.
I have not liked Fauci since the beginning.
I know you haven't. You were ahead of that curve.
And there's, information from people that he's not the guy he presents himself as. So
he's not sexy?
No, he's definitely sexy.
Okay.
He just may be sexy and sinister. I don't know. So I don't like him. I'll tell you that. There's something wrong there.
Yep.
There's something wrong on the Anthony Fauci front.
I mean, the fact that he's saying we can't have sports, I mean, that should be a tip-off right there that there's something wrong with this cat.
Right?
I mean, everything else makes sense once you realize, we just probably won't be able to have sports this year. Which, by the way, the NFL schedule released tonight at, I believe it's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern. Anyway, it's already been leaking out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then, I mean, is starting on time, supposedly?
Well, there's parameters, okay? So you get your non-conference games out of the way the first 4 weeks because those are your least consequential as far as tiebreakers go. And then they compress your divisional games like we suspected on this program already. Your divisional games are going to be later in the year. So anyhow, but they're planning on a Thursday, September start. It looks like it will be now this isn't a fact yet, okay? But it looks like it's going to be the Panthers at the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Because it's got to be either the Panthers at Chiefs or Falcons at Chiefs. And it's come out that it was Panthers at Chiefs.
Okay.
I will not bore you with any more NFL fun facts with scheduling because that is my nerd goal is to be an NFL scheduler someday.
Is it really?
It is.
Okay.
And we discussed this on an upcoming episode of At the Mic, my podcast. Anyhow, so yeah, that comes out tonight. And Thanksgiving could be interesting. Saints, Lions, Cowboys, Falcons, Vikings.
Or there might not be any football at all.
What are you doing, Dr. Fauci? Is that you? My goodness.
Well, we can't safely do it, Keith. We're going to have to shut down the season.
I don't need this.
Let me tell you about Rough Greens. Obviously, dry dog food sits on the shelf for a while in grocery stores, but did you know it? I mean, it sits there for up to 3 years, and that's why dry dog food manufacturers sterilize it when they make it. In other words, they have to kill anything that might be alive in your pet's food. And the side effect of that is that they kill all the good stuff while they're at it, the probiotics and enzymes, vitamins, healthy microbacteria. But there's Rough Greens VitaSmart now. You can put it back into your dog's food. This is a supplement. It's not dog food. It's a healthy supplement that puts the live nutrients necessary for your dog to be frisky and happy and healthy, puts it back into your dog's food. You just sprinkle some on, take a scoopful, sprinkle it in, mix it around. Your dog will love it. If he's like my dog, Glenn's dog, Stu's dog, they gobble this stuff up. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today for just $14.95. See the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. This hairdresser in Texas who was put in jail for 7 days because she opened her business. And the judge who sentenced her to 7 days, a Texas judge, was so outraged that she dare try to support her family by opening her business when the authorities said not to. How dare you? How dare you? Dare you? And she did. She did anyway. For some reason, I guess Governor Abbott can't pardon her. He said the legislators stopped that somehow. So I don't know how all that worked. But so she's in jail day number 3.
Shelley Luther, yeah, still there.
Day number 3. She's still in jail. Crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. Meanwhile, Attorney General Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of the state, called on authorities, the judge, release her. Stop this madness. He said, I find it outrageous and out of touch that during this national pandemic, a judge in a county that actually released hardened criminals for fear of contracting COVID-19 would jail a mother for operating her hair salon in an attempt to put food on her family's table. The trial judge did not need to lock her up.
Yeah, but see, I mean, this is the crazy stuff that happens in a far left state like Texas.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, you would think that it's a far left state. Obviously, everybody knows it isn't. But here she is, languishing in jail. Shelley Luther, shameful abuse of his judicial discretion is how Attorney General Paxton put that. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, there's a judge who is slamming the governor's stay-at-home orders as the very definition of tyranny.
Wait a minute. Wisconsin?
Again, we're turned upside down here. Where in Texas, we're practicing tyranny. In Wisconsin, they're calling for freedom. During oral arguments over a lawsuit filed by Wisconsin GOP legislators to bar the state from extending Governor Tony Evers' stay-at-home orders, a conservative judge called the decision to implement stay-at-home orders the very definition of tyranny. The 90 minutes of argument, heard remotely by video conference, came after Evers, a Democrat, and leaders from both parties of the legislature met for the first time to discuss a bipartisan response to the pandemic. Evers first issued his stay-at-home orders on March 24th, then extended it to April 16th to expire on May 26th. State Attorney General Colin Roth stated that people will die if the extension order were to be repealed, and nothing replaced it.
People will die.
That's what we keep getting.
The worst economy since the Great Depression if we don't do something. I got it.
You just want people to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
So we've got common sense in Wisconsin, but not in Texas in this one case.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you're going to tell me is we have an official in California making more sense than our judge here in Texas. You want to hear from the Riverside sheriff?
Yes, I do.
About jailing.
As we continue, I will reinforce my position. Not only do we not have the resources to enforce unreasonable orders, I refuse to make criminals out of business owners, single moms, and otherwise healthy individuals for exercising their constitutional rights.
Wow.
I believe Riverside County residents are responsible enough to proceed cautiously. The original projections and fears that caused these orders to be put into place have been proven wrong. As leaders, we must adjust our decisions to better serve the county as a whole. There cannot be a new normal. We are talking about a country formed on the fundamental freedoms of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Any new normal is a direct attack on those basic rights which set us apart and make us the greatest country in the world.
Wow.
Thank you, Riverside County Sheriff.
You've got to love that. It's federal law. You have to. You do not have the freedom not to love that.
Wow.
Yeah, so don't even try that with me.
Kind of seems like the opposite of the point that the sheriff was making. You noodle that one out.
No, it's the same point. It's the exact same point. You know, just agree with me and you'll be fine. You can think anything you want as long as it's, what I think.
That's actually what he believes, folks. So
yeah, it is not. 888-900-3393. But that is amazing, and it just again shows what everything's flipped on its head right now.
I mean, this is the time right now, Americans. This is where it's, and we've said this so many times. We are no longer talking hypotheticals. This is happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to choose freedom. Or are you going to choose security? Which is it? And I would contend you can have both. But who am I? I don't punch above my weight either does New Zealand.
Are you Keith Malinak? I thought I recognized you when I came in this morning, but maybe not if you don't even know who you are.
I'm choosing to identify as a free citizen today.
Okay.
That's who I am.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Hey, we've got a
can't be
guest.
free when there's lockdown.
All right. Well, that's true. Yeah, I've learned that.
Oh, we do have a guest. We will be joined next because there's actual sports coming up. We're going to talk to a sports fanatic, Hillary Kennedy, about the UFC next. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where discarded giblet tissue tweets. That was the sound of freedom being flushed down the toilet. So when you heard the toilet flush during the Supreme Court session, that was the sound of freedom.
By the way, that was live on C-SPAN. Just so you know.
Okay, great. That's great stuff. The Steve 42. So bars can open in phase 4, but churches have to wait till phase 5. Smell lawsuit fodder. Yeah, kind of. Mm-hmm. Unconstitutional lawsuit fodder. Kelly 3132 tweets, April 11th, this mosque opened in Syracuse. That's okay, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a mosque. So, yeah, they can't be held to the same standard as Christian churches.
Right. What are
you, stupid?
Come on.
Crystal tweets, why can't they just hold more services? Why can't churches just let 20 people in each mass and have 4 on Sunday and 2 on Saturday if needed?
I mean, seriously. What do you want?
Shouldn't have to.
I was going to say, you want your pastor giving 8 sermons all day for,
Yeah. I guess you could do that. Rants Out Loud tweets, when Greta Thunberg, Bill Nye, Bill Gates, and Madonna are all advocating for us to stay at home, yeah, I got to question the motivation. Yes, for sure. All right. We are joined now by Hillary Kennedy from the 4-Minute Buzz. Welcome, Hillary.
Thank you for having me back.
We've got some actual sports to talk about this weekend.
Thank goodness.
And you're a big fan of the UFC, which is the sport that is actually brave enough to and bold enough to do something this weekend.
Yes. So Dana White has been trying to get this going. I mean, essentially since the pandemic started. He tried a couple times. He talked about having some private island set aside to have the fighters fly to. And he said that's still in the works. So we'll see if that happens. But he said, they won't know where they're flying. It's this big secret and fight there. But that didn't happen. And he's actually working as one of the advisors with Donald Trump to figure out how to get the economy back up and running. So he said, even though he's concerned about safety and he's going to have all the safety protocols in place, sports needs to come back because it helps our economy. So.
Yeah, it does need to come back.
It helps our psyche, too.
Yeah.
Where are they fighting? Is it Las Vegas?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Really?
So, yeah, there's going to be a fight tonight and then 2 other dates this month. I think trying to think if it's I know there's the 16th and then I think 2 more. But yeah, they're trying to do them in rapid succession and make up for lost time.
Nice. Okay.
And it's a pretty stacked card. There's only 2 fights that I'm super excited about. There's no female fights on the card this time, which was a little disappointing.
Darn it. Love to watch women beat the crap out of each other. Don't you, Keith? Don't you love that?
Stuff.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's wonderful.
My favorite part.
By the way, before people get confused, you said tonight. You meant this weekend.
Yes, this weekend. Yes, sorry.
Okay.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah, you're ready, yeah.
Tony Ferguson, who that's the big title fight. He was supposed to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, but he was sent back to Russia when all this happened and he can't travel. This fight's been canceled 5 times. And so Tony Ferguson said, I'm over it. I don't care about it anymore. Send me somebody good to fight. So he's fighting a guy named Justin Gaethje who took the fight, right here at the last minute since Khabib dropped out. And he said he's terrified, but looking forward to it because Tony Ferguson has had, he's on like a 12 winning streak. So he's a really tough fighter.
Wait, Justin Gaethje said he was terrified?
Yeah, he said, I'm terrified to do this, but I'm excited because this will really, he's on the map, but I think this will really kind of help catapult him. And fighting Tony Ferguson is a scary thing. He's the one that knocked out Conor McGregor. He's a really, really good striker. So I think this is going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah. And what's the other one you're excited about?
Cowboy Cerrone. I talked about him before on the show.
He lost to somebody a while ago,
He did. He lost to Conor McGregor.
Right. That's right.
And he's a guy who will fight someone anytime, anywhere. And so he took this fight at the last second also. And so with 2 weeks notice, so he's been able to train as much as he can in 2 weeks. But he said, I'm fat and I'm out of shape a little bit, but I'm excited to fight. And he's fighting a guy, Anthony Showtime Pettis. And Anthony was the first one to knock Cowboy out ever back in 2013. And so this rematch is all these years in the making. So everybody's excited about
That's
that.
great. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of blood and guts spilled, which
I
you
hope
love,
so.
right?
Yeah, there better be. After we waited all this time, there better be some broken noses.
Now, you grew up enjoying boxing, right? Your grandfather?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. So what about Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson are both coming back? Would you like to see a rematch of those two?
I would. I enjoy boxing a lot. It's not as bloody as MMA.
Nowhere near as bloody as MMA.
It's been displaced as my favorite, but if they decide to
bloodlust, Hillary Kennedy,
she likes a bloodbath.
If they can make boxing a little more violent, I'll be back on board.
So have you ever seen? Obviously, you have McGregor and Diaz.
Yes,
You've watched
Nate
that
Diaz.
fight?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a bloodbath. I mean, there was blood. I think there was blood on every audience member. I think there was.
And that's where you get your money's worth.
Yes.
If you're actually going to go live, if you can't taste the blood and the sweat, then you're not sitting close enough.
That's so great.
That's a quote.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right. So, did you and your husband go out this weekend? Didn't you go to a public restaurant and take your lives into
our
your own
hands,
hands and put them on the line there?
We did. We went out to eat the first chance we got, and we actually made a reservation because we were afraid that we wouldn't be able to get a table anywhere because so many people had said, like, I can't wait to get out. But we went out in downtown Fort Worth, and there were
Looks like you had the place to yourself there.
We really did. There were about 5 tables at the restaurant. So it was very quiet.
5 tables that were occupied?
Occupied.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Everything else was
how
open.
many do you think? Like what percentage of the... I need an exact count because I got to call the fire
Maybe
marshal.
30 or 40 tables. I mean, it was a pretty big restaurant.
So it was pretty empty still.
But, the people that were out were having a great time. I saw a couple of people eating alone. They just wanted to be, just wanted to be out and not have a meal at home by themselves. So, but we enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was good to be able to talk to real people and kind of give back and support a local business, which was great.
Saw a couple with a baby. Is that right?
That kind of surprised me a little bit. I saw a couple with a newborn baby that came out to the restaurant.
That seems a little iffy.
So they were really fight the power. They were really ready to get out of the house.
I was going to say, they've probably been itching to get out more than anybody.
Yeah. I'm guessing. Well, so you have a baby, but you and your husband went out. So who watches the baby under lockdown?
My mom was kind enough to watch him for us. Yeah,
that's great.
And we really haven't. I mean, we've taken him outside, like to the park and things like that, but we haven't been taking him on any major trips to Walmart or anything right now.
How's he doing after he pulled a bookshelf on his head or whatever he did?
Man, he still has a pretty visible scar above his eye.
So it's been.
I don't notice it quite so much, just because I've been looking at it since December. It happened 2 days after Christmas. But when people see him for the first time, they'll say, "Oh man, what happened?" So as a parent,
so it is noticeable.
It is noticeable, yeah. So
He'll
I'm
be
hoping
cool. He'll be
maybe
proud
it'll.
of it if it stays long enough. Could fade completely.
Hold on a second, because you're really stressed about this.
Yeah.
But yet you want to see blood and guts in a ring.
Well, not on my child.
I was going to say, what's the problem? I think you would think that was great.
Not on my kid, but other people's kids. Totally fine.
Especially consenting adults.
Right, exactly.
You're getting in the ring. You know what you're getting into.
That is exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get the crap knocked out of you one of these times.
And the money that a lot of these guys make, like Cowboy Cerrone, the guy who will take a fight anytime, and he also said he'll fight at the other 2 UFC events this month. Because, he'll just stay in Jacksonville, Florida, instead of driving the 1,500 miles back to New Mexico where he lives. But he said, I've made enough money. I've got my own ranch. I have my own gym. So when the pandemic happened, he said, I could still train. I don't have to rely on a gym to go in. So they make great money for putting their faces and bodies on the line.
Faces on the line.
Yeah. All right. So when you go out in public, do you wear a mask?
The places that require you to, like UPS, when I drop packages off there to be mailed, they won't let you in unless you have a mask on. So I've worn a mask places that absolutely require it. If they don't require it, I don't.
You don't? Mm-hmm. So you're not super fearful of contracting it?
I really haven't been.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to be smart about it. I wash my hands quite a bit. I keep sanitizer in my car. Early on, I had gloves and a mask that I wore to the grocery store if we needed to, because people would really get uncomfortable if you didn't have those things
Especially
on.
This side of town.
Yeah, but I will say the last maybe 2 or 3 times that I've been to the grocery store, the overwhelming majority did not have
Did not?
masks on, even when they were required.
Wow.
So that was interesting.
I went to the Kroger here in Irving yesterday, and almost everybody had a mask on.
Really?
I was the only one, I think. Maybe 2 other people didn't have masks.
And you can feel the stares, right?
Yeah.
People
They're like
staring at you like, oh,
what's the matter with you?
goodness.
What's the matter with you trying to kill me?
You're not
You're
from
trying to
around
murder me right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I've gotten a lot of flack from good friends about not wearing a mask every 5 seconds and not wearing gloves. And I was telling Keith, I have a friend that wanted to visit her parents who live halfway across the country, and she drove there but did not stop at a gas station ever to use the bathroom.
Wow.
Just stopped on the side of the road where she could because she didn't want to risk it. And when you have elderly parents and people who are immunocompromised, people are really afraid, and
they are.
So I would have still stopped at a gas station, but I respect that that's what she wanted to do.
And that's the
if
thing.
people want to,
She has the choice.
Take all
Fine.
those precautions. I think that's great. You have to do what's right for you, but just don't judge everybody else if that's not what's right for them.
Exactly right. All right. Looking forward to the big UFC fight this weekend. Also, you'll be announcing our isolation Olympics.
Yes.
YouTube.com.
You having fun with that?
Check that
I'm
out.
having a great time with that.
Good.
All right.
We're running out of ideas, but if you go to youtube.com/Pat Gray, you can see Hillary announcing our. What are we going to do? We're going to do curling again today?
Probably. Okay. I can't think of anything
I
else.
know. Like I said,
Our give-up event.
We're out of
curling.
ideas, We're too old to kick field goals anymore.
And we'll see you on the 4-minute buzz in just a few minutes.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks,
a lot,
Hillary. All right, let me tell you about Keeps. Kyle and Josh, a couple of guys who are both losing their hair. Isn't everybody? They got the male pattern baldness gene. It runs rampant in virtually every man's family. So one of them dealt with it they just let their hair fall out. The other went to Keeps to try to keep his hair, and did. Keeps offers the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products that exist. They're the real deal. And these generic versions save you a fortune. So all you have to do, sit on your couch, go online, answer a few questions, snap some pictures of your hair, send those in, and then a doctor will evaluate all your info and recommend the right treatment for you. Keeps lets you keep your hair without leaving your couch. And we're going to get you 50% off the price, which is already low to begin with, just to get you started. Keeps.com/Pat. That's Keeps.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So amazing, that she is such a big fan of blood and guts on MMA. You've got this sweet, couldn't be nicer, one of the nicest human beings you would ever meet. And she loves it. The bloodier, the better.
I
on
want
an
the
MMA
blood
fight.
bleeding.
I want it flowing down the aisles. That's what I want. So it's
not my kid. I want my kid to stay pretty. Yeah.
All right. 888-900-3393.
It kind of reminds me of that press secretary, that new press secretary. What's her name?
McEnany.
Yeah.
Kayleigh McEnany.
She's not taking any crap either.
No, that's true. She was getting some crap yesterday at the press conference, and she gave it right back.
Kayleigh, in a previous life, before you were press secretary, you worked for the campaign, and you made a comment, I believe, on Fox, in which you said President Trump will not allow the coronavirus to come to this country. Given what has happened since then, obviously, would you like to take that back?
She's getting ready. She's flipping her
first,
nose.
let me note, I was asked a question on Fox Business about the president's travel restrictions. I noted what was the intent behind those travel restrictions, which is we will not see the coronavirus come here. We will not see terrorism come here, referring to an earlier set of travel restrictions. I guess I would turn the question back on the media and ask similar questions. Does Vox want to take back that they proclaim that the coronavirus would not be a deadly pandemic? Does the Washington Post want to take back that they told Americans to get a grip, the flu is bigger than the coronavirus? Does the Washington Post likewise want to take back that our brains are causing us to exaggerate the threat of the coronavirus?
That's
Does the New York Times want to take back that fear of the virus may be spreading faster than the virus itself? Does NPR want to take back that the flu was a much bigger threat than the coronavirus? And finally, once again, the Washington Post, would they like to take back that the government should not respond aggressively to the coronavirus? I'll leave you with those questions, and maybe you'll have some answers in a few days.
That's great. Nice.
Good stuff.
Just threw it right back in their faces. Fantastic.
And that's kind of like Hillary in here, you know,
Yes.
all sweet and nice. And then let's talk about UFC and blood and guts and injuries and near-death experiences in a ring. That's exactly what that felt like right there.
It's amazing how different we are as a country than, say, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. In 1957, Elvis was all over the radio. Ike was president. Dwight D. Eisenhower. And 116,000 Americans died in a pandemic. In February 1957, a new influenza H2N2, emerged in East Asia, triggering a pandemic. It was called the Asian flu. Oh, the racism.
Whoa.
Oh, my. Oh, why would you name it that? Why are you so hateful? Why don't you like Asian people? The H2N2 virus was comprised of 3 different genes from an H2N2 virus that originated from an avian influenza A virus, including a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Anyway, it was first reported in Singapore, February 1957, Hong Kong in April, and then the United States in the summer of 57. The estimated number of deaths was 1.1 million worldwide and 116,000 in the United States. Like the current pandemic, there was a demographic pattern to the deaths. It hit the elderly population with heart and lung disease. In a frightening twist, the virus could also be fatal for pregnant women. The infection rate was probably even higher than the Spanish flu of 1918. But that lowered the overall case fatality rate to 0.67%. A vaccine became available in late 57, but was not widely distributed. Interesting. Huh.
And they pulled the emergency brake on the economy?
No, they didn't close any businesses.
Really?
We kept going to church, we kept going to work, we had
Weird.
sporting events.
We're so backwards.
Baseball continued its 1957 season. That is incredible. But so why is this one so different? Why?
Answer. Because there's a Republican in the White House in the middle of a great economy. I mean, inside voice.
Yes. No, that's exactly what it is. That's why you see this divide between Republicans wanting to reopen the economy and Democrats who keep shouting, "You're just trying to kill people."
Yep.
Democrats absolutely want this country to remain shut down because the longer it's shut down, the better chance that they have their way in restarting this economy as a socialist economy. Restarting in the image that they love so much. What they want to do is, bring about the Green New Deal, and they see their opening right here. They've already almost accomplished it with the bills that we've already passed.
No kidding. Great point. Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, congratulations. It's an election year pandemic. And your October surprise is now a March surprise. So
yeah, that's going to last until October, November. It's crazy. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about the Books Company. Moms are working way harder than usual this year without a single day off. So at the Books Company, short for bouquets, it's BOUQS, they've decided to celebrate Mother's Day all month long and put a smile on mom's face every month with their flower subscription. Get 30% off plus free shipping every single time. Subscriptions are flexible, so you can pause, you can switch up delivery dates or even recipients to cover all your bases. If you don't want to do a long-term commitment, that's fine. Try their gift trio for 3 months of farm fresh blooms. Do you know that Books are responsibly sourced from some of the world's finest eco-friendly farms? They even have a flower farm on the side of a volcano, so the flowers stay fresher longer.
That is awesome.
Really cool. Order anytime between now and May 31st to show mom some love and gratitude. Say thanks for always being there no matter what. Go to Bouqs.com/Pat. That's BOUQS.com/Pat to order today. You can still get 25% at checkout by entering the promo code PAT at Bouqs.com/Pat.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
By the way, this is kind of a fun little fact.
I don't know. That doesn't bode well.
Do you know who Andy Lack is? He was the head of NBC. They just got rid of him. Just pushed him out. Who's going to replace Andy Lack? The current head of Telemundo. Maria Telemundo. So if you thought NBC was biased before, hang on. Because the head of Telemundo is now in charge. Oh, man. Woo-wee. Can't wait to see what they have to say now.
Think there's going to be any stories sympathetic toward the plight of illegal aliens now?
Oh, my gosh. Nah. Can you imagine how NBC, MSNBC, and CNBC are all going to treat the illegal immigration situation? Now, you just have to watch Telemundo to see. And they're going to be very, very, very pro-illegal immigration.
Boy.
Meanwhile, also at NBC, everybody's getting a nice pay cut. They're cutting the pay of their senior management by 20%, rolling back pay by 3% for other employees making more than $100,000 in response to the fallout from the pandemic. In order to deal with the depth of this crisis and its effect on our company, we need to address our cost base. Besides pay cuts and raise restrictions, travel, entertainment budgets, and the use of outside consultants will also be reduced. So there's just fun coming to everybody because of this virus. Let's just keep the lockout going because it's going well.
Sure is,
Let's
right?
just keep it going indefinitely. You know what? We could do this another 2 years if we need to. 3, maybe. How long do you want to keep this going? A decade?
Till we can get a Democrat president. Then the coast is clear.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it would take, right? Then they'll make all their dreams come true.
That's why I say the election's on November 3rd. Expect if the Democrat wins, I almost said Biden. I'm not sure he'll be the nominee. Just expect really good news on November 4th if the Democrats win. Oh, my gosh, all of a sudden we can lift everything. We're back to normal, y'all.
Are you thinking maybe Hillary's waiting in the wings? Is that who? Or are you thinking, who are you thinking might swoop in here at the very end?
I'm thinking it won't be Joe Biden because I'm sticking with my prediction that I made after the first debate that Joe Biden will not be the nominee.
Okay.
I'm still sticking with that, yes. I don't know
if that's the case, if they jettison Joe Biden, I think they got to go with Richard Gephardt.
I mean, why not?
This is his opportunity. This is where the man could shine. What is he, 80? He's in the prime of his life.
Well, as far as the Democrat candidates, he absolutely is.
Yes, he is.
But you want to talk about Overton Window? I mean, I don't remember much about his positions. I'm looking up real quickly in our last minute here, but I guarantee you.
He's probably more moderate than Biden.
Let's see. Well, he was strongly anti-abortion.
Was he really?
Let's see.
Oh, you can't do that now in the Democrat Party.
He must have changed.
Wow.
Wait. Oh, no. When he ran for president, 87, he announced he will no longer support legislation to restrict abortion rights.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that
he
was
caved like every other
else.
Democrat. That's amazing.
He authorized the invasion of Iraq.
Oh. All right.
Let's see. He voted for Reagan's tax cuts. I'm telling you, Overton
Richard Gephardt's the man. He's the man. Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to start my campaign for the Democrats. Richard Gephardt for the nomination.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.